scuffle between you and Des do to the team?
I mean, to be honest, as a group, we've been there before against that exact team. So I think it just was, you know, Max came out, set the tone, hit a shot, and we just went on a run after that. You know, they, and credit to them, they, you know, continue to push back and whatnot. But for us, that's just who we are. You know, continue to stay here regardless. Um, it's competitive basketball. It's fun.
Kenny has talked throughout the course of this season about your leadership and how you do a little bit of coaching as well. Is that something that you're looking forward to in the future? Is that something you want to do in the
Yeah,
future?
I don't know if I want to coach at this level. I give Kenny a lot of credit. It is stressful as hell. I've seen it around the league. You know, it's stressful. I think for me, I want to definitely coach probably the high school level. Before, I don't want to recruit, you know, in college. I definitely don't want to do that. I give coaches in college a lot of credit, especially with the NIL stuff. So definitely something I want to do. But my job as a leader to make sure guys are, you know, including myself, are in the right spots, doing the right things. We're always in our spots and never getting complacent. And sometimes as a leader, you have to be able to listen. You know, there were a few mistakes I made. Evan, Max kind of tell me, hey, don't help here or be here, stop helping, or stop doing this, stop doing that. And being able to be receptive, I think that's the biggest thing. I think we hear leader and we hear vocal and just like commands and whatnot, but also being able to listen to your teammates. So they obviously have a lot of talent, a lot of great minds in that locker room. So being receptive to that as well.
Yeah.
You had a great night, but how about Ty Jerome in that fourth quarter? What got into him, and he seems to have those stretches where he just gets super hot.
I don't even know, man. I mean, like, for like 5-6 minutes, usually I'm prepping myself, like, all right, I'm about to get the ball, they're about to double here, they're about to do this, and it's just one after another. And I think, you know, I mean, he's done this for a long enough amount that I think we have to just understand this is Ty Jerome. You know what I mean? I think there's no looking at him like, man, as a shock, as a surprise. This is him. He has the ultimate confidence. I will say that. He's been doing this since I was over 8. You know what I mean? So this is who he is. This is who he is for our group, especially for him to keep his head after having 3 quick fouls in the first half. That's a mental fortitude that, you know, I really truly respect. You know, and it wasn't just, you know, him scoring. He had 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's something that really helps us. And, you know, when he's got it rolling like that, especially with DG out, kind of coming in there and doing his thing as well, it helps us for sure.
Memphis is one of the bigger teams in the league. Yeah, you guys collectively outbeat down to like 20. What does that say about you guys when you're able to take on a team like that and beat them on the boards?
I mean, you got, you know, Max Strus coming in having 8. Sam Merrill he had 1. I felt like he had more. DeAndre having 8. Dean having 6. Ty having 5. Damn, Ty having 5. I mean, I should have contributed more. I only had 2. I would have had 3 if I didn't miss time to jump. But, you know, that's a point of emphasis. You know, they got Jaren Jackson and Zach Edey down there. Then they come with Brandon Clark, who's athletic, Aldama. So it's a credit to our bigs, obviously getting double-digit rebounds as they do, but also as guards coming in there as a collective and helping them out, because it's not just on them to go ahead and get the boards. It's a group effort.
Nate?
Donovan, hey, I know that it's like a handful of games, but what's been the best part of having DeAndre Hunter so far? What's with the fit and everything?
I think, you know, everything that we all thought about him, you're starting to see. He's a defender. He can shoot it. He can get to the line, create his own shot. I think he's being a little too passive. I think he's trying to still figure things out, and I respect that about him. But I told him, like, bro, like, he had a mismatch on the wing, and he was like trying to figure out, should I go, should I pass? And that's part of being in a new environment, trying to figure things out. But, you know, just continuing to try to figure things out and doing it with, I mean, obviously he went over 4 tonight from 3, but like doing it with pace and doing it with poise, and then defensively just being who he's been his whole career. And, you know, he's provided a lot for us.
And then with the scuffle there by the bench, I saw you. I couldn't see a lot, but I did see you put your hands up. Like, were you thinking, I'm trying not to have this escalate?
Yeah, I can't get thrown out. You know what I mean? I think once I really don't remember what happened after once I put my hands up. Kind of black out in those moments, but I think I knew for myself it's just I can't. Too valuable to get thrown out in that regard. So kind of just being like, look, you know, this is. But at the end of the day, the ball's on the floor. I'm not letting it go. He's not letting it go. So it is what it is. Nothing crazy.
Donovan, can you point out a unique leadership quality that you have where he described it as you never get too high, you never get too low, kind of how you help coach him a little bit and keep him calm. Is that something that comes naturally to you, or is that a skill set you've sort of worked on over the course of your career?
I'm a little bit of both. I think I give Ricky Rubio a lot of credit in that regard, and obviously my Johnny Bryant, who's been with me pretty much my whole career. Two individuals that don't really get high or low. They just kind of keep it even keel. And if you watch Johnny on the bench, I don't think he reacts to anything. He's going to hate that I said that, but watch him. He doesn't react to shit, anything, excuse me. But Ricky was the first one, just kind of especially my rookie year when we got to the playoffs. My first playoff series against guys that I've looked up to. You know, you're a rookie, you're out there playing in Oklahoma City, being up 3-2, you know, trying to clinch a game out, like different scenarios. I give Ricky a lot of credit for that, and then Johnny as well. And then for myself, just being able to understand that no lead is safe, and you're never out of a game. You know, there's so many different things that can happen, and understanding different personalities and different things. Guys can kind of sometimes get high and be like, yeah, you know, we've conquered it all, you know, and then also can be like, man, we suck. Like, you know what I mean? It's just the natural ebbs and flows of it, and then, no offense to you guys, but like it's your job to report the highs and the lows and not really listening to that. Just understand it. It's a process. That's the biggest thing. This whole thing's a process. I've been in this league 8 years and still trying to, you know, continue to get to that. You know what I mean? And if I left it to bad playoff performances or stuff like that, I'd be crushing myself and killing me. I understand I've had great times, I've had bad times, and now just instilling that in this group. And we have a lot of great guys that understand that.
Jackson.
Going back to Ty, you know, a performance like this is not out of the ordinary. You said that this is who he is now. Kenny was in here, and he said that he didn't see any of this coming in Golden State. Can you pinpoint a moment where you just accepted that, hey, this, you know, Ty is just a really good player?
I always knew he was a good player. I mean, I guess I've known him my whole life. He was doing this in camp and OTAs and pickup, and I was like, all right, he's done this in Brick's run. Like, I've seen it. Like, all right, like, you know, but he hadn't done it in the league, but he hadn't been playing. You know, he'd been hurt, you know what I mean? So I think it's a different vibe when you're doing it in the NBA environment. And to his credit, he's overcome a lot of injuries, a lot of different things, and now he's getting his chance, and he's not, you know, letting it go at all. I think for me, when what was the game where he damn near shot from half court? Was it here against New Orleans, I think it was? That's when I was like, all right, maybe. And then Philly was like, yeah, like, you know, this is what he does.
So the two-man lineups with like you and Evan have been really good this year. That was on display again with Darius off the court. In previous years, that wasn't necessarily the case. What has changed this year between you two?
I think, first off, our substitution patterns changed. DG's played with Evan, or with Jay more, and for me, just trying to help Ev continue to be who he is. Seeing what I see, allowing him to create. Teams don't want to leave me. I kind of set screens for him, get down here. You saw that tonight. There's different things, and also just being like, bro, go be the guy. You know what I mean? I think that's something that we've really worked on and talked about, especially in the off season. And I give Coach Kenny a lot of credit for, you know, being able to change things up, because, you know, typically, you know, you want to stay with what you're comfortable with, and it was different for the both of us, or at least for me. And I think with him, he's putting a lot of work. He's putting a lot of time in, as y'all starting to see. But for him and I, just having that chemistry, like, all right, what do you see? Okay, cool. This is what I see. This is where you could be better. And then also holding each other accountable, I think is huge.
Spence.
I've seen a lot of people guard you since you've been in the league. Jaylen Wells is a second-round rookie who's got 50-plus starts. That doesn't usually happen in this league.
That kid is good.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what was your impressions of him? He was picking you up full that whole first half, and he looked like he was really feeling comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched him a bunch this season, so kind of having to prep and understand, you know, and for a second-round rookie, for guys like myself, Dame, Book, and Steph, for us to really, he's like on the report, you know what I mean? That's a lot of respect to him. And then on the offensive end, I didn't know he shot it as well as he did, like with confidence, you know, so a lot of credit to him, and he kind of made himself a staple over there, you know what I mean? I think that's something that they really rely on him to kind of disrupt a lot of different things. But he's definitely really talented. He's only going to get better, you know what I mean? And I give him a lot of credit for continuing to be that player and not really tripping on if I score, if he gets scored on, if he makes shots, doesn't make shots. He's been that way. I've been watching it all year, first time in person. So a lot of respect to him for sure.